Someone reminded me or mentioned to me or told me about this this police officer. Even one of my heroes, Shaun King, spoke about this police officer. He was a Custom and Border Patrol officer who was getting his hair done, his hair cut, and he was at his barber shop. And when he heard that there was this shooting going on, he asked the barber for a shotgun, and he ran to the site, and he was told, "Don't go in, don't do anything, stand down." And then he and two other officers, even being told, stand down, they went in and rescued children. I think he's a hero. I had teased someone. I had not even teased someone. I was being provocative on Facebook, and I said, in this town, they had to call immigration to go save people. People got upset. One person got upset about that, but that shows just how emotional this Uvalde thing is. And I don't care how emotional it is. I'm going to celebrate another hero. Other hero is a 10-year-old girl, and I think she's the greatest hero of all. Yes, there's the mother who rushed in and rescued her children. She drove 40 miles to rescue her children while the local police sat there. In any case, it's just 10-year-old. Her name was Chloe Torres. The border patrol person's name, and I want to give him his props, was Joseph Alvarado. Good guy. So here's Chloe Torres, and she's in the classroom where the shooting has been done, and she calls 911, and she explains to them, give them details of what's happening, and that's a great deal of courage for a 10-year-old. Presence of mind. You see, sometimes we think being a hero or courage is being like Rambo-like, but sometimes it's just keeping a calm head. There's a great poem that if you can keep your calm while all the crowd is going crazy, you're great. I think that's what it says. And she was great because she kept her cool. She was on the scene, in the room with the killer, and she tells them, he shot my teacher, and she's still alive. Can you please have the police? And she's on there for about 20 minutes. She's a hero, because I don't know how many of us as adults could have done so. And again, this Uvalde thing was a tragedy, but it reminds me of the parable of the talents given by Jesus. And he said this rich man went away and he gave three servants each a talent. And in this situation, it fits, in my opinion, because the first servant, or Mr. Officer Alvarado, he was given the most, 5 talents to deal with. Officer Alvarado, had weaponry, and he went in and did what he's supposed to do. The second person there was the 10-year-old, who had less to deal with, but she had weaponry still. She had a telephone. She called, and she had her own presence of mind and ability to stay calm and communicate. She did well. What was a good servant? The last servant were the police. They were afraid to go in. The servant told Jesus that, I was afraid that you'd be angry, so I buried my talents. And Jesus says, I have no use for you. And threw him out where there was wailing and gnashing of teeth, which I think the officers who waited while people were bleeding to death should have to answer for. But also, that third servant reminds me of gun enthusiasts, not necessarily people who want to collect guns or even have a gun in your home, but I think these people who brandish guns for the sake of proving a Second Amendment, which is totally false. Listen, there is no untrammeled right, or unrestricted or unlimited right to anything. Let me tell you, you don't even have the right to your own body. You can be executed. You can be put into prison. That's just foolishness. It's like me saying that I can own guns that may kill people, that I could flood my yard and drown other people, and it's too bad. I got the right to flood my yard. And keeping these guns and letting them cause havoc is a big problem. You can't have like a nuisance where just because I'm going to use something, and if it's a risk to you, therefore it's too bad for you, because that's not how society works. We give, we take, we balance it out. Each person has a right. And I think these Second Amendment people who want an untrammeled right, hear me now, an unlimited right to firearms, are the cause of this problem. There's no need for it. When the Second Amendment was written, there was no standing army. We had militias. We need to defend ourselves from invaders like France and France was a friend, but foreigners, Great Britain. So we needed to arm each and every person like Ukraine did, arm each and every person. That was the scenario. It's not like you're gonna have a big gun on your hip, walking around and stand your ground and shoot people for radios, or 18-year-olds who can't really deal. They can't even clean their room. They can't even buy alcohol. Can buy a killing machine and kill people. What the third servant did by burying his what he was given, his liberty, is what we're doing when we give this kind of liberty to people who are 18 and want guns. We're allowing them to bury us, to bury our children, and it just has to stop. And I don't like that this officer or this 10-year-old have to be heroes. This 10-year-old should be playing skipping rope. This officer should be doing his job, and having a great time and retiring. Now they're living with trauma, and it's just wrong. All for this fiction of Second Amendment rights, which people don't understand. It's a religion. It doesn't make any sense. It's an idol. You don't need guns like that in this day and age. No other modern industrialized country has this kind of thing, and they have a lot less shootings. That's the fact. It's out of whack, and it has to be changed. It'll be very interesting if people of color began to own guns and carry them in the open. I wonder what kind of society we'd have then. I think it'd be stopped. But my props to the 10-year-old. My props to the Customs and Border Patrol officer. I thank you for your work, but I wish this will stop. And the problem is that it's going to continue.